everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to share a walkthrough of this Me album. It covers January through May of 2023, and it has this little spot for like a spine label. I just keep forgetting to add one. And in a previous video, I had mentioned that these are 2.5 inches. They're actually 2, and they are Avery binders. And I love how you open it and it's flat like that, has that extra piece. You can even put like memorabilia or whatever you want there. I like that piece as well. So let's dive right in. I have a million different products and stories and makers of things. It's really a mix and match of things in my album. So I open up with this January page and this quote, and I did a bunch of stamping based off of the green in here, and also green is my favorite color, so it makes sense. And then I had this number in my Ali Edwards stash, so I went ahead and used that. Then comes a page about working out and continuing to do that. I did this for a Tracy Reed project, and I did a lot of clustering down here. I think one of the flowers fell off, maybe, I don't know, but I'm glad that I took these pictures of me continuing to work out. Then I did a page that talked about kind of what I'm looking forward to with January and the new year, and used a bunch of stories by the month pieces along with the good story kit, because I can tell this is printed kit. Same thing with this heart and these papers. Also used a ton of ScrappinHappy Studio flares. Then I move into a Syncopation Designs project. I think this was for my Instagram series Scrapbooking with Friends. I scrap lifted, I don't remember who. I want to say Susanna Lee. I think that's who, but I tried the design with the waves up here and then putting 2 photos of me reading with my cat. The next one is another Scrapbooking with Friends project, and I loved how this one turned out using the open story kit and just talking about what I'm hoping for the year, and used a selfie that I took on a hike. Then comes February, and usually when I do me type pages, I really do like to do an everyday collage type page for the month, and I didn't do that with this particular month. I really just kind of let it go and changed kind of my formula on how I do me albums. I also didn't do an end page or a start page. I think in other months I did do a start and end page, but for this I did not. This is the start of February, and I shrunk down a cut shop file to do a layered effect here, and then just did a pink and green color scheme. I had this photo, and then my pants were green and the water looked kind of green, so I did something a little different to kind of start off the month of February. The next page, I loved how this turned out. I've held on to these words for such a long time, and I was able to use 2 of them to document working out and this pose that I did. And I believe this paper is, yeah, this is a digital paper. I think I made this one by duplicating a journaling card in Photoshop Elements. Another Scrapbooking with Friends project, and I did another design that I don't normally do, which is cutting the journaling here. I think it worked okay, I don't know. And I also did a fun color scheme with the oranges and yellows, and of course making my photos black and white. I think if I had to do it over again, I would probably put the journaling here or up here. I'd love to know how you guys would have done it if you had made this project. Would you have split the journaling, or would you have put it up there? Page about my scrapbook area. I did this for ScrappinHappy Studio. She had some crafty embellishments, and I also did it for Mandy Ford, who came out with a new printable collection that was all about cats and crafting. And so I just talked about this is my space and what's going on and what I'm working on in my space. Then we move into, I believe this starts March. Yeah, this starts March, but it's actually mid-February that things were starting to bloom. So I didn't add the date, I don't think, because I felt kind of silly. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is mid-February, but I'm kind of calling it March, but that's okay. So I did a cut shop project because I used all of the pieces from one of Ashley's monthly kits to put this together. We've got another Tracy Reed page, and I really loved the TN page here, and I decided to put the photos black and white and then pair in all the different pink colors, and it was really fun because pink is not a color that I normally use. This layout right here, it was all about going on a walk. I think the kids were on break or something like that, but I was really telling myself, okay, stop being inside, go out on a walk. And I took a few photos and decided to use the Seek kit and stamp a bunch of clouds. And I think this is a journaling card that I cut apart. So really love how this one came together. Another Tracy Reed project. This time I used a ridiculous selfie of me with some eye patches, which I had never used before. So I used those and then talked about my evening skincare routine and used a ton of different die cuts from Tracy's kit. The next page was totally inspired by the fact that I got a new stamp set from Studio Calico, but my friend Mandy Ford, she had designed it and it was all about spring. So I had taken another walk and decided to use 4 photos and then do like columns of stamping and kind of florals coming out there, and had a lot of fun just getting stampy and, you know, trying out my new stamp set. That is the end of March, and I decided to end March here using a stamp set that was sent to me. I can't remember who sent it to me, but it had the mushrooms and the butterflies, and I just talked about these tulips that are in our neighborhood, and I look forward to them every March. That is the end of March. Moving on to April. This is a page I just recently finished up. I liked how I somehow did filters on my photo editing, and then I'm kind of wearing purple pants. You can see them there, like workout pants. So I decided to pair that with this die cut and this printed paper, and then just go from there. I posted a reel of me making this on Instagram, and I had posted an Instagram story with journaling, so I just copied that right there. Next up is talking about 5 things about April, or not 5 things, 4 things about April using this photo. And again, this is a Tracy Reed project. The next project is one of my all-time favorite projects ever. It was a scrapbooking with friends project, and I scrap lifted my friend Linda. Linda loves creating. She's just absolutely incredible, and she had this design with her daughter, I think, and it went all the way around. And so I decided to do that with this awesome selfie that I got, and I had the most fun making this project, and I just love it. I think it's time that I repeat this design because I love it. And the next few projects I think have to do with die cuts. Well, they're coming up, but I did a small like series or video about die cuts and how to use them printed from digital and then cutting them out with your Cameo. So that's what those are right there. And here, another purple project documenting a walk with my husband and kind of about our relationship and how we do things in our relationship. And that's another thing I like to do when I'm documenting my stories is, even though this is photos about a walk, I can go a little deeper with the story, talking about, like I said, the relationship my husband and I have. Another scrapbooking with friends project. I have a lot of these in here from 2023 because I did this project where I get together with a scrapbook friend in the community every Friday, and every Friday we would do a project where we would usually scrap lift each other or essentially copy the project or basically the design. So I did that for 6 months, I believe. So that's why there's a lot of projects in here based off of scraplifting awesome people in the community. So this one is for the love of nature, and I did a really like wild background stamping here based off of some colors. I don't even know where I got the colors from, because I can see that this is a mix of several different kits. So that was really fun to come up with and kind of celebrate this big poppy field that we found, and I was so excited to find. Here is the other die cut projects that I wanted to demonstrate on my channel how to use die cuts. This one was all about the florals to frame in the photo, and also a title as your jumping off point for journaling. And so I just documented a Saturday. And then this one, I documented like a current outlook and working out and how that is important to me, and focused more on the pinks and softer colors. So love how those came together, and they really work so well with the season of spring. This project I did for a Studio Calico assignment. I was their guest designer, and so I wanted to document a fun hike with my bestie. We had all these photos, one on the bridge, which I loved, so I made that one really big. And then I have a grid of photos over here. And then this one, my friend Marcia on Instagram, she taught me how to make these. I'm still not so great at it, but you can basically tuck in your journaling and make it something different. And I stamped some sentiments on there, which I loved. Another nature project using Tracy Reed and a ton of ScrappinHappy Studio flares, but of course it's all about hiking and just loving being outside. So not much journaling, but I just wanted to focus more on doing a monochromatic page and also using those flares. Next one, I again document my space in April using a kit from Michelle. She is Quirky Heart Designs, and I used the die cuts from the kit, and I love it. You can see about every month or every other month, I try to document my space and how it looks and different areas of it. Next up is this awesome project I did for Syncopation Designs. I took this photo during Week in the Life, so I blew it up really big, and I was able to use her sleeping stamp set. It's called Always Tired, and I used it and colored in all these different little bubbles and used some die cuts, and I love it. It turned out fantastic. So another project to just kind of play with my stamps and the various kits that I had, but there's more journaling for this photo in a different project. So again, that's why it's okay to sometimes not do as much journaling. This will wrap up April, and I wrapped it up with this grid of photos for Week in the Life. I took a photo every day of my outfit. I loved doing that, so I wanted to document it here. I do have only 6 photos because my Saturday outfit, I got it outdoors. So I decided to just do these, and then that gives me a space to add in some stamping and just give it a little more white space. I also did I feel like a ton of breathing space, white space here for May, and I used the bloom kit and just a mix of different pieces in my stash. The next page is all about talking about May and what I'm looking forward to in this particular month, using a cut shop kit that's all about May, and this photo of a cactus in our neighborhood that I'm obsessed with. It tends to bloom around this time, and it makes me so happy. This next page celebrates Mother's Day and how I love taking photos of my kids and I. Usually it's over here on our steps, and I just did 3 different little spots for journaling, and I did some fancy flower work there. I also put the flower patterns that I made, I put it behind the acrylic and used the ScrappinHappy Studio flares. So a lot of fun to like look back on the Mother's Day photos and document Mother's Day. I think this piece needs some more adhesive. Next up is talking about May and this walk that I went on and how much I love going on walks and what I saw and these really interesting plants. And I did this as the guest designer for Ali Edwards' Stories by the Month, May of this year. Another scrapbooking with friends project. This time I teamed up with Andrea Gray, Retrohip Mama, and we just used the same fun printable collection. And I just used photos of me outside listening to music and audiobooks. So this next project, I actually made it 6x8 pocket style. And I had the 3x4 pockets here, and then I had a 6x8 page over here, like just a white page, but I couldn't find a spot for this page using these products in my family's album. And I actually decided that since I'm using Ali Edwards products for everything, I might as well just stick with that. So I didn't put that project in my family's album. I wound up making this project, and I have a process video for this. But so this is what I decided, and then I was left with this project. So I could either throw it away or I could include it in my Me album. So what I had to do was kind of deconstruct it and format it for this size. So I was able to get the photos over here. I cut this one down a little bit and then cut the photo of me and the family. But really it's just the water over here, so it's not too big of a deal. And then I took the various flowers and then put them around the page. And I think it turned out really well. I was able to keep this layout because I loved the colors. I loved being able to do this project and had fun making it. So the last page of this album is one I just made. After I reorganized my stash, I wanted to finish up this album with this particular photo. So I got out, I think, 2 or 3 different color schemes. I was like, which one should I use? I finally decided on a column of circles, pulled out several different circles that I had. I had this one, and then I pulled out some sticker labels, and then I saw this die cut. And so I just put them all down here, and I love how it turned out. Whew. So that is a walkthrough of this album. I love making albums about myself, and I hope that gives you ideas when it comes to documenting yourself. And I am excited to just keep documenting myself, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this walkthrough. I loved sharing it with you. All right, have a great day. Bye.